Hey everyone, it's me, Aki. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. This is going to be an adventure into Robynhood's kind of video. And the topic of today will be, how can I be sure I am transgender? And I think that's a very hard thing to say or feel or believe. How can someone be sure of anything? Certain things are a lot of feelings, certain things you know because of experience. In my case, this was a build-up of a lot of small things. Like when I was younger, I loved doing female things. I loved clothes, makeup, dance routines, like cliche girl things. That doesn't per se mean that every boy that's into those things that is transgender. But what for me was one of the things that really made the connection is I didn't like my body, and not in the way like too big, too thin. More than like I have parts I have no interest in using, and I don't like to get any attention of it. And I am, of course, talking about my hair. No, the sexual downward zone. I have never gotten really into using it. As even on my own, I was like getting in my teenage years, no interest. And then I dated a guy, and that he kind of started it up a little bit. But I still never had the intention of using it what its purpose was, which of course is really like seeing it black and white. But I never had the urge to use it, and that never really came really into its place. I don't know where I wanted to go with that sentence, but it never really happened to. It never really activated or anything. I don't know how that works. And I remember when I was dating guys or have a relationship, I always felt so insecure undressing and not how it looked, because it's a normal looking penis. And it was just like, that was a part that I didn't want anyone to see. It's not, it shouldn't be there. I don't want it there. If I could just like take it off and leave it at home, I would. But I can't. And that was one of the main things that for me was when I start to think about being transgender and what that means, that was like, well, that explains that feeling. I don't connect with the body that I have. I always wanted to make it look different also. Or, well, that's a lot of society. Like, boys have to do this and girls have to do that. I always wanted the opposite. Not because it was the opposite, just I liked it better. Same way how I look, like longer hair. As a kid, I so always wanted to have longer hair. And I'm getting there at some point. Please grow. But that it's just going in my head like as a child doing the clothes things, as my body wise don't like the manly things, even compliments like my beard and stuff. Like I learned to accept compliments in the way of it's nice that you think it's beautiful or sexy or just good looking. When I had my beard, I had a lot of compliments about it, and I felt like as a man, I have to look like I think how a man should look, which was I love beards on a guy. Like, please, future husband, have a beard, grow a beard. So I started to basically look and like change my physique look. Oh God, how I think a man should look or how I want a man to look, which is weird, because that just basically means being attracted. Like I would love to look to a type that I was attracted to, which a lot of confusion. But it never felt good. It never felt like how I wanted it. And if I look at pictures now, I'm like, I wasn't that bad looking. I was okay. Yes, that was a good looking man, but it was not the good looking me. Frustration. So those are all signs for me that when I learned about transgenderness 2 years ago, that a lot of things clicked, like, oh, that's why I felt that, and that's how I wanted to do those things. But the main feeling where I know that I am sure I am a transgender woman is when I look in the mirror now, I see perfection. Sure. I mean, I don't have complications, really. I mean, it's a hot mess, I know, and it's a work in progress, but it's my mess. It's the mess I am choosing for. It's the mess I'm meant to be. And that's a nice feeling. And also just like in my behavior, I don't have to respond in a certain way or sit in a certain way or walk in a certain way or like all those kind of things, all those filters that just stopped. I stopped filtering and just did what I wanted to do. It feels good. It's such a cliche. It's such a cliche to say, but I feel like myself, and I think that's what for me is why I'm sure I'm transgender. Everything I can do to become more female is just adding up to being more me. It feels like being more myself. Because there was a time when I just accepted it for myself that I woke up in the morning saying, I'm not strong enough for this. I can't do this. This is so difficult. This is taking so much energy. I'm just afraid that I can't do it. Of course, I've read those horror stories of people like going through transition and afterwards were like, but this doesn't feel right either. And all that kind of information scared me. But now, since October, I'm dressing as a woman. Since January, I'm going with my boobs outside, which is a bra. Just a bra. Empty bra. Stop saying bra. Stuff like error, complete error. Calm down. That's what for me is all giving. It's not signs even, it's just like facts for me that I'm doing the right thing. It's still scary, but I don't wake up in the morning anymore thinking I can't do this. Well, I can about just getting up because I hate getting up. But I don't think about I don't see this anymore as not, it feels natural how I look, putting makeup on, choosing my clothes more carefully. It feels all natural. So it doesn't take more energy anymore. And on the contrary, it's giving me energy because I don't, I think I just already said, but if I look in the mirror now, I see myself. And I remember in the past, sometimes looking in the mirror and seeing someone else. And I couldn't explain that feeling. So that's good. I'm happy that I got to make the choice. I made the choice. And it's not a regret at all, but what I do think is kind of sad that sometimes, and I'm gonna try and talk general now, I believe that if someone comes to you and shares something super personal about themselves, that their first response, which I had a few times, is, are you sure? And that was that was really hard, because you're already taking a decision that's very hard, a path that's very hard to choose for, very hard to walk on, with the judgment, with the aggression, with not understanding it, and just pain, because there's a lot of pain in these steps toward becoming me. Well, I am me, but becoming more me, extra me. And then to people immediately say like, "Are you sure?" I understand that people like, "Why?" or "How do you know?" I get that, but not like, "Are you sure?" Please, if anyone ever in your life, or if your kids come to you, talk about it. Not instantly ask them if they're sure. Give them a chance to explain, or maybe like formulate your questions differently. I don't know, but I didn't like the phrase "Are you sure?" Because that's like, oh, but I'm like, whatever you thought, you should really think about it again. But I understand, like, from the people it came from, it's more of concern in a way, because it's a big thing. So I understand it, but that was really not what I needed at that time. And so I wanted to make sure that if other people ever, it's not a confrontation, but like happen to be in a situation that people share something like that. It's not even transgender. It can be a number of things. Just don't ask them if they're sure. Because that was not the most supportive thing. But I mean, I can't complain. I'm very supported because of like my work, my friends, my family, my pets. They're all supportive. So was it horrible? No, but it's just at that time it was really like you have to already build up the courage, and then you like have to convince them too. Like who made you judges? And that's I think that's the main thing. Like, are you sure? You have to like extra convince them. Like, I'm sharing this information with you. If you don't believe it, like, kind of tough luck, I guess. So to round it up, how do I know I'm happy? I'm happy with how I look, how I am, how I behave. That's how I know. Because before I was more of I was gonna say corpse, but that's not per se what I mean. It's more like the will to live was really on a super low percentage. It was barely there. I mean, I wasn't suicidal. It was more like I didn't care anymore. I was tired of constantly, excuse me, burp, trying to figure a way how to accept who I am and deal with how I look. And it sounds like I was like a horrible creature. Excuse me, a horrible creature before. I wasn't. It really was. I couldn't figure out what to do to actually be myself or feel like myself, because I was never. Well, I was hiding a lot of things, and I realized I was hiding them. I didn't realize that it was something important I was hiding. So it just blew my own mind. Okay, so again, to wrap this up, how do I know I'm happy now with the changes I made? I wasn't happy with the specific gender elements I have or had. That's all an item that really made me sure. And just in general, the build-up as a child when you're unfiltered, and the interests I had are all very feminine. And I feel, and those all together for me makes it really clear why I am transgender. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below in the comments, or you can follow me on Instagram, which is Akino Kitsune, or my Facebook page, which is Akino Kitsune with 2 E's. And you can message me there or comment on a picture and I will see to reply. Or if you're just gonna mock me, well, if you're my friends, please do. But if you are just someone who wants to humiliate me or verbally attack me, spare the energy. I mean, I don't know you. I don't care what you think. I mean, just do something better with your life than attacking people online, I guess. Yeah, it's just, let's insult other people just on the end of the video. Great, bye!